Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland, and this is Talk About Gear, which is just happens to be on Tuesday, and a time that many people in America have Taco Tuesdays. So tonight we had some enchiladas or something like that, whatever it's called. Basically, chicken, vegetables, beans, rice, stuff like that. So let me know what you had for dinner tonight. Hopefully you had some kind of dinner. And because not everybody has that opportunity, I guess. But yeah, so what I want to talk about tonight is the new Ed Sheeran album. And talk about some discoveries that I didn't even know really about his albums in general. And maybe take a look at some of his guitars. And I do want to talk about the copyright lawsuit that he recently went through. And I think there's a song on the new album that could be mistaken for a very popular song that we all know and love. But let's break it down after listening to it. And, is it okay to get inspiration from other songs as long as the melody and the lyrics are different? Because really there's only so many chords that you can use when writing a song. So anyway, we'll jump on into that and we'll have some fun talking about it. Aaron says hi. And I do mostly eat meat. But, rice is not the most horrible thing in the world, and it's way better than a candy bar. So I got to pick my battles, and if the wife wants to cook, I'm not going to turn it down. So y'all come on in, and let's just talk about the week, talk about some cool gear. And I'm still using the same setup as I always have. I think all my live stream woes that I had maybe about 5 or 6 months ago are all but gone. Let's see, right back here, if I'm pointing at the right direction, I switched my internet from AT&T to Verizon 5G Home. And so far it's working pretty good. There's some tweaks I need to do as far as the Google Mesh system that I have to bounce the signal from the studio over to the bonus room in the house and then down to the living room. And there's just a few connection, not really issues, but just how if my phone comes into the studio, it's connected to a certain Wi-Fi, but then when I go down to the house, it's not converting over or something. It's just kind of weird. Right now it's on Studio Hub. So if you come to the studio, that's the Wi-Fi that you will attach to. See, now it says no internet connection, which there's clearly an internet connection. So I don't know. It's all very strange. Andrew, the resident Helix connoisseur, says he loves the 3.6 Helix update. The Grammatico Dumble amp looks to be a very big hit, which, I messed around with it last week or 2 weeks ago on the live stream. And yeah, I think you can get some good tones with any of it. So tonight I'm actually playing through the Fractal FM9. This is the Reverend Pete Anderson Telecaster or T-style guitar. They have an S-style, which is still a T-style body, but it has 3 pickups and a 5-way switch. So that's why they call it an S-style. But I think it sounds good. Let me turn it down a little bit. So I'm basically looking at the levels of my ECAM level coming in and just making sure it's not hitting in the red too much. I'm just turning down the output on the Fractal. Here lately, driving into work, before I discovered there's a new Ed Sheeran album, I've been listening to the Know Your Gear podcast by Philip McKnight. And I usually set it to 1.25 speed or even 1.5 speed just to get through it faster. But it is kind of cool listening to just chat about guitars and amps and pedals. And I've actually learned some stuff over the last week or so of listening to that podcast, which has been good. I'm always willing to learn about things that I may or may not be familiar with. I did purchase a 5-string bass, which is a Yamaha TRB X 505. I did order that from Sweetwater, and I did have to set it up just a little bit to my liking, just my own personal taste. They do a 55-point inspection at Sweetwater, but it's like a general spec. It's not, it's never going to be exactly what you want unless you're just the kind of player that likes general spec, setups. But for a 5-string bass and with the strings being a little bit thicker, I was getting a lot of rattle on the fret. So I had to adjust the relief of the neck, adjust the saddle height just a little bit so I can play with the right touch that I wanted. But I left the bass at work, so I'll be sure to focus on the new bass guitar next week. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to do that down below and click the bell so you'll be notified when I go live. I wanted to go live a little bit earlier, but me and the wife were watching The Middle, which is the older comedy TV show. And it's just stupidly funny, so I liked it. Andrew is asking, did you hear about about the new CEO of Gibson? I did see that. I'm not familiar with who he is. And CJ came well after my days of working at Gibson from 2005 to 2015. No, sorry. 2005 to 2014. So I kind of kept up with a little Gibson, news over the years, but it's nothing I need to be concerned about. And there's still a lot of great guys and girls working over there at Gibson USA, all working hard, doing what they do. And not everyone is going to like Gibson, but there are still tons of people that do like Gibson. And I'm in a Gibson Facebook group. Gibson Les Paul Facebook group on, obviously on Facebook. And, if you're a Gibson lover, then who can say otherwise at this point, right? So, I like Gibsons. I have an Epiphone Sheraton. Actually, let me play that one. Let me grab my Sheraton real fast. Oh, yeah. So say hello to Rebecca. She is a Epiphone Sheraton guitar. I got this back in, I think, 99, or I think it was, I graduated in 99. I think I had one semester of community college, and then I really wanted to have a Sheraton. So I got this in 2000. So I've had it for 23 years, and it's still going strong. I'm going to tune her up here. Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay, I see what it did. Yeah, no, not a big deal. I have a string tree right here to try and get these middle two strings to go straight through the nut instead of, kinking over. But it wasn't working at the moment. So, for the last time I had this out and playing. Okay. Tuning it up. I have a camera right here. I'm gonna put it on the back side of my rack, so I can have the camera over the fractal or another piece of gear, and kind of clear out this space. Not bad. Tune it one more time. So y'all let me know what you have eaten or what's been going on this week. Have you checked out the new Ed Sheeran album? I can say I probably listened to the whole thing about 10 times now. And it's just gold. It's really, really good. And I've always liked the I've always tolerated Ed Sheeran. It's not like when his song came on the radio, I would just change it. But I've never gone out of my way to just listen to his music. But this new album called Subtract, which is a very cool theme, by the way, and this is something I did not know about his albums. But his new album Subtract is very acoustic based, just pure vocals, great unison vocals, very, very tight unison vocals, great harmonies when there are harmonies. And but the melody and the pureness of his voice really just shine through really well. Yeah, is not a fan. Aaron Short, this is Epiphone Sheraton, and her name is Rebecca. I've had it for 23 years, and she's been good to me. There's like little cracks here and there, not too bad. Hello. I did put some steel wool on the back of this neck a few years ago, so it really smoothed it out. Got some of that lacquer and finish. You can hear that the input jack is a little wonky. The problem with a top mounted input jack is if it gets pulled and tugged, like you're hearing, you start hearing a lot of weird noises. So I might have to put it up here in a sec. This is being ornery. Turn this volume back up a little bit. Aaron is asking where I got the guitar and what year is it. This is S980844461. It's probably a 98 if I had to guess. It's probably the year is 98. It was on the 84th day, and it was the 461st guitar that was made that day. Possibly. That might be what the numbers mean. I'm not quite exactly sure. I got this guitar at L&M Music in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I think at the time it was about $800 and came with a nice hard shell case. And this was my main jazz guitar when I had a scholarship to play jazz at a community college down in Boaz, Alabama, called Sneed State Community College. Okay, so that's a good introduction. And let's talk about some Ed Sheeran here. So let's go to Tidal, which is my preferred streaming service of choice. And let's bring it over to here. Oh, weird. Oh, I see what's going on. Clear out the live program here. All right, so Ed Sheeran. Let's click on his name, and then we'll go to albums. So this is something cool I've never noticed before. And if you keep track of what Adele's albums are, or other people's albums, sometimes they have a theme, album per album. So Adele, she basically calls her album the age she is at the time. So her first one was 19, and then the second one was 25. Let's just go look up Adele real fast. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, she got. Maybe it's 21. I thought there was a 19. 19, 21, 25. Let's see here. And then 30. Okay, maybe I'm a little off. 19, 21, and 30. What was the 25? What was the 25? 19, 21, and 30. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was. I could have swore there was a 25. Is there not a 25? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So she went from 2008 to 2011 to 2021. So back to Ed Sheeran. He did something that was based on math or mathematical terms, which I think is kind of neat. So his very first album was called Plus, okay, in 2011. And then in 2014, he had the times or multiplied, I guess, multiply, something like that, the big X. 2017 was divide. So you're seeing a theme here of mathematical terms. Okay, and then we have equals in 2021. And now we have subtract, which is meant by this dash right here. So we got to subtract. I think it's kind of neat. Corbin is an Ed Sheeran fan. So Corbin, let me know what's your favorite song of Ed's, and or which one is your favorite album. Like as I've mentioned earlier, I've listened to Subtract about 10 times now, just going back and forth from work and just around the house, and it is really, really good. The equals, we got Tide, Shivers. This is definitely more of a pop album overall. Let's see what was on. the Divide album. We had Castle on a Hill, which is a very good upbeat song. We have Shape of You, Perfect, which was a big hit. Where is Thinking Out Loud, which is the song that recently got in the lawsuit. So Thinking Out Loud came out in 2014, almost 10 years ago. It was about 9 years ago. And they're coming after Ed Sheeran after all these years thinking, hey, your Thinking Out Loud song sounds just like Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. Which, if you listen to Van Morrison or tons of other songs that use this very, very similar 1/3, 4 or 5 chord progression, or in Let's Get It On's case, it's 1, 3 minor, 4, 5. And the cool thing about Ed's song is it's not the same progression the whole entire song. It goes to like a 2 minor to 5 to 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, then 2, 5. So it has other sections in the song other than just the same vamp over and over and over. So just as an example, I know, let's see, let's turn off my delay here. Go back to scenes. We'll store this. Okay. So first of all, Ed's song is in the key of D, which really doesn't matter. You can have different keys, but still have a very, very similar chord progression. But if you look at the actual sheet music, the lyrics and the melody are completely different. So regardless if the progression is the same, if you have a different melody and different lyrics, then you can't really say it's your song. It's the same as me playing. Right, 1, 5, 6, 4. Or those same 4 chords in a completely different order, like. I mean, there's so many variations. Okay, so I need a drink of water. Yeah, there's so many things you can do with just those 4 chords, and there's all kinds of melodies you can weave in and out depending on what the melody calls for as far as is a supporting harmony underneath the melody. Checking the comments here. Really like Thinking Out Loud and Shape of You. Colorblind on the new album is incredible as well. Yeah, I like all those songs. So talking about Thinking Out Loud, it's not Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On because there's a chord difference and there's a completely different melody and a completely different lyric, obviously. And the whole song is not the same vamp over and over. So Thinking Out Loud is this. Right? We got D, then a D over F sharp, which is a 1/3 in Nashville number system terms. Then we got G, A. Now the syncopation of the rhythm, where we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now I even showed that to my friend Joe over the weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, there's a country song called Stuck on You. There's a feeling inside that's in a world, and I'm on my way." Yeah, it's just so many different songs that have the exact same chord progression. It just doesn't matter. So Let's Get It On is in the key of E flat with a 3 minor chord instead of a 1/3. I need a tune again. Rebecca, you better stay in tune now. Otherwise, I gotta put you back in your case. No, don't do it. I'm so sorry. It's that G string. I probably do need to change the strings on this guitar and get a good setup again, but let's get it on. Yeah, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Right? So the syncopation is similar in both songs, but the chords are slightly different and the melody is completely different. So having a lawsuit against Ed Sheeran is a complete waste of time. And I'm glad that he ended up winning, because he did say that if he lost, that he would be very, very tempted to just toss in the towel and just don't do music or be an artist ever again. I'm sure he would still write songs, but he just wouldn't be the, the major singer that he is currently. So yeah, Aaron, this is a Princeton Reverb with a SM57 on it. It's just, this is sitting right over here outside of the camera. So, I mean, it is a real amp. It sounds really good, I think. Sounds great in the room, by the way. All right, so the song that I want to play for you off of the Subtract album, and this is it's a very catchy guitar hook that I'm sure you might be familiar with. So let's just listen to it a little bit. And I really don't care if this live stream gets demonetized or whatever. Like these live streams aren't making me any money at all, hardly, and they get very little views. So I just don't care. So YouTube, demonetize it. I don't care. Do whatever you gotta do. Okay. Now, what is that song? It's not exactly, but it's very, very similar to She's a good girl, free falling, crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and a boyfriend too. Okay, so it's got that same, it's the syncopation of the chords that makes it very similar to Free Fallin'. And I can almost sing that melody right over the intro here. So let me play that again so you can hear what it's doing. Aaron is being a jokester. He's saying I have a great voice. I don't think so. Here we go. Loves a mama, loves Jesus, and America too. She's hit like a train. I ran out of words. I got nothing to say. Everything hurts. Okay. So you can hear me singing the Free Fallin' melody underneath his melody, and they're completely different. And Free Fallin', I mean, first of all, it's in the key of F, but regardless of the key, Free Fallin' goes, right? You got that sus4, and Life Goes On is, so instead of going dun, 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 it goes to the 1 to the 4, back to 1 to 5. So we're not hanging on that 4 chord with the sus thing going back down to 1. We're just going straight from 1, 4, 1, 5. Okay, let's keep listening. I know love leads to pain, but memories serve
our sweetest refrain. The waves came tumbling down as you float away. I'm reaching for you to tell me how my life goes on with you gone. I suppose I'll sink like a stone if you leave me now. Oh, the storms will roll, easy come, hard go, then life goes on.
Now, I like this key because usually for my singing voice, it's either too high or too low. It's hard for me to find that happy medium, but this is a nice key for me. I'll have to go into my head voice sometimes just to, if I don't want to belt out, my vocal. But okay, let's keep listening here. There's a little turnaround in between the verse and chorus.
I miss the flames, the heated reserve. Oh, I remember the way that you put me first. What a heart-wrenching shame that you'll never know, just like tears in the rain. A constant gray in the clouds. When I hear your name, I think of love. So tell me how my life goes on with you gone, I suppose.
Now, what's cool about this melody is it is dead simple. It doesn't have a huge range. The highest note is it doesn't even go to a fifth. Maybe it does like very, very shortly. So it goes down to that sixth there. Right, but then we got the bridge or the last half of that chorus. So it's rain goes rolling down. This so afraid. I didn't know. Tell me now. Every life goes on and on. I'm telling you, I am singing to the top of my lungs in my car driving to work. I love this song. It's really, really good. I love how simple it is. I just love the melody, the lyrical content. It's just very clean and kind of draws you in about hard times in life and grief and all kinds of stuff. But it's just a very joyous kind of melody. So, and then plus it reminds me of Free Fallin'. So sometimes I'll interject a little Free Fallin' in there. Free falling, ooh, and I'm free. Free falling, falling. Anyway, so there you go. If the Tom Petty's estate was to come after Ed Sheeran for taking a very small rhythmic motif and chord structure and saying that Ed Sheeran is trying to steal Free Fallin' for some reason, then I think they're grabbing at straws at this point because they just need to leave it alone and let songwriters be songwriters. I mean, you're going to find inspiration. You're going to find little tidbits of melodies and chord structures shared between all kinds of songs. That's why you can have mashups. of 10 songs straight that have the exact same chord progression. All you have to do is just change the melody and the lyric, and hey, you got a new song. So nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Wow. Take me into your loving arms, yeah. Yeah, unoriginal music, Aaron. So that's the thing. I mean, there's only so many chords you can come up with. Now, you can make an argument for back in the day, they use, there's a lot more unconventional chord structures. I mean, think of the Beatles, for instance. The Beatles had all kinds of songs that had minor threes and 2-5-1s and flat seven, like just all kinds of chord progressions. Usually pop music nowadays is a very simplified style of music. Taylor Swift only has 3 or 4 chords in her songs. Very repetitive. She could even do a copyright claim on herself most of the time because her songs are so similar. That's just the way it is. So whether you like it or you don't, I think it's a beautiful album. It is a beautiful album. Check out this melody here. This is a stupidly beautiful melody.
Sycamore in the summer, bearing leaves. Swing you pushing our daughter underneath. Flowers bloom in the garden, swaying breeze.
This is in the key of C.
Just imagine a world where we could be. Right now in the waiting room, emotions running wild. Worried about my lover and I'm worried about a child. And part of me was always in denial. It's gonna take a little while. We're in our story, love in, love out. We are glorious. We're in our story, love in, love out.
This isn't a weird time signature. But the way the melody flows, it just sounds really good. But it is kind of hard to figure out. I can't figure out what the meter is exactly. But I love the simpleness, and just the melody is just beautiful.
We are glorious. Sycamore bringing shade from beating sun. Nothing more than a word, smoking gun.
Got a little drum in the background.
What a puzzle is this to be in love, to be planting your roots, then dig them up.
Yeah, I highly suggest everyone go at least once. Just sit down in your music room, bedroom, living room, den, kitchen, wherever you like to relax. Throw on this album, listen to the whole thing, and if you never listen to it ever again, that's fine. But man, it's good. It's a good album. It's one of those albums I could probably listen to at least once a week for the rest of my life and never get sick of it. It's that good. I think it's my personal opinion. Aaron says I have a good voice. I appreciate that. I'm working on it. Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran are both amazing melody writers. That is true. So it doesn't really matter what the chords are. If the melody just screams for a certain chord progression to support it, then that's the chords you play. That's why Ed, and Let's Get It On, if you got Now, if we were to went let's get it on versus no, 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 let's get it on, let's get it on. Right, we got a B flat right there. So that could easily be G minor, or it could be the fifth of a E flat chord. So let's get it on, let's get it on. Which one sounds better to you? Let's get it on. Yeah, oh, let's get it on. Yeah, 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 woo, woo, woo. And we found love right where we are. Thinking out loud. I don't know. There's so many different variations you could do on melodies and chords. All right, let's move on to what was I going to talk about? Let's move on to Ed's acoustic guitar. Now, we've all seen him play his guitars live. Right? They're usually very, very small body guitars, and they are actually made by Loudon, which is a guitar made in Ireland. Ireland, the land of the Irish. Now, Ed Sheeran is not Irish. He was born in Yorkshire, England. Aaron, where are you originally from? Let me know in the chat there. I feel like you're from the UK. Maybe you're from London. I'm not sure. It's all the same to me over there. I'm sorry, but I don't know enough about the geographical space over there to know what the big what's the UK versus London versus being British. I mean, I don't know. I'll study it one of these days. So there's Ed Sheeran with his cool little guitar. And looks like we have a W series, which is called Wee Loudon. Wee as in an Irish term for small, tiny person. He's a wee little lad, isn't she? Lassie. And then we got the S series, which is just small. Suffolk, where Ed grew up. Oh, cool. Or there you go. Ed Sheeran is 32. How old are you, Aaron? I feel like you're closer to my age, but maybe you're in your early 30s. I don't know. So let's look at some guitars here. So we got the Eagles edition, which is obviously based off of an album. But we got the W series. So this is a small upper bow with a slightly bigger bottom bow. Or bottom. And it's called the Wee Loudon. And this is essentially what Ed plays. And you can see that they range from $683 to $897. The W4 looks nice because it does have a little arm cut out, like a little bevel right here. And if you've ever played acoustic, let me unplug my guitar here. This acoustic does not have a bevel. Let me switch around my my stuff here. There we go. So this is an Eastman AC 122, and notice it does not have a bevel. It has a sharp edge right there. It's when you have your arm over it. I can feel that edge right against my forearm, which is not horrible because the body size is good for me, so it kind of fits in the where my arm bends, so it feels pretty natural. Shoo-wee. I'm gonna tune with my Strobo Plus tuner, which was a recommendation by Aaron Short, and I do like it. It works out good. All right. I started a new student yesterday, a little 7-year-old, and I think he's going to have a lot of fun learning guitar. You know, I told him how, like, you know, where to put his fingers, you know, doing the... right, stuff like that, little chromatic scale. We talked about hand position when you pluck. You know, make sure you have your hand on the saddle right here. Put that on the saddle. So, the W series, you can see that the 01 does not have a bevel. But if the body is small enough and maybe you're standing and the lack of bevel is not going to bother you, then 683 for a Loudon guitar, which some of the other Loudon guitars I've checked into they can be anywhere from $5,000 to $12,000. So these things can range pretty high. So the fact that Ed Sheeran has a signature guitar that's less than $1,000 is pretty good. Very nice woods. You got walnut 5-piece back and sides, mahogany neck, ebony fretboard, which is very nice. This one does not have a pickup, so that would mark that as a no-go for me. Let me go back to my my screen there. Ed Sheeran. I just find it interesting that, you know, he has a new album. He's got a pretty cool signature guitar if you're into acoustic. And the way he talks about his signature guitar is it has a really good pickup in it. It's small. So if you're a smaller human, then this might be a good option for you. And especially if you want to spend less than $1,000 and get a decent quality guitar that really fits you. It's not a parlor guitar by any means, but it's just a good body size for anybody that wants that kind of size guitar. Now the W02 is $844, so we jump up in price. But we got the Indian rosewood back and sides. You can see that right there. So it's very, very pretty. And mahogany neck, ebony fretboard, 24-inch scale length. But this one has the LR Bags EAS VTC. So I actually need to look that up. So LR Bags EAS VTC. Because I really don't know anything about it. Element acoustic guitar under saddle pickup. This is from Sweetwater. So if you were to buy it individually, it would be $179. So it looks like you just stick it underneath the saddle there. Well, this is the Element. So, and this is a EAS. Maybe it's the same thing. I'm not exactly sure. There's the EAS. So it does require a battery. We've got the little thing there. Element active system. Element active system. One size fits all under saddle acoustic pickup with discrete volume and tone controls. Very cool. Battery life is 1,000 hours. So that should last you a fairly long time. I mean, 1,000 hours. If you played 40 hour, if you left it plugged in for 40 hours, right? We're going to divide that by 40. So that's 25 days straight. Sorry. Well, it's 40 hours a week. Technically, it'd be 25 weeks if you just left it plugged in all the time. But if you only left it plugged in, let's say for 3 hours a day, that's pretty much a full year. It's 333 days of a year, which is not quite a full year, but it's pretty close to a full year. So if you just left it plugged in, if you played a gig for 3 hours a day for 333 days, that's a pretty long time. And most people don't even do that. They might play 40 shows a year. They might, but including practices and just playing around the house, maybe you might use up 180 hours, possibly. I don't know. Put this other mic. Okay. Yes, that's a pretty good pickup. It's the same pickup that comes with the other ones. So, but once again, this does not have a bevel. So we've added a pickup, but we don't have a bevel yet. So if a bevel is not a big deal to you, then that's fine. This one is 856. A little something special for you, just your size. So we got a bevel. We have the Indian Rosewood 5-piece back and sides, which is very pretty. Looks like a Sitka spruce top. Sorry, that's cedar. It's a cedar top. So cedar has a darker. It's a darker wood. The spruce is going to be your lighter looking woods. Same pickup, comes with a gig bag, and all that. So that's 856, and then the last one is 897. So that's still pretty good. And this one does have the spruce top, the walnut 5-piece, soundbox bevel, which is that little armrest there. Mahogany neck, ebony fretboard, same pickup style. Sheeran branded gig bag. I don't remember what the other one was. What's the 103? Sheeran branded gig bag. And this one is... Okay, so they're all Sheeran branded gig bags. Just can't remember. Yeah, they're all the same. All right, so I like that one. The S series, 100% acoustic, 100% thing. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Unplugged acoustic tone. So no pickup, and it doesn't have a bevel, but it does have a very nice walnut back and sides, which is cool. Let's look at these other options here. This is a 24 4/5 scale from LR Bags. Indian Rosewood, very pretty. It's got the bevel there. So the W02 did not have a bevel at this point. So with this one, we have a bevel and we have the pickup. I feel like this lower bow is a little bit bigger. Let me check that real fast. Let's go to the W03. I can't really tell what the main difference is. It gives you a traditional Loudon look and feel and flexibility. Stage ready acoustic electric package. Shine, noise, foundation, rosewood. Da, da, da. Yeah, I'd have to click on the S series to read more about it. This one can have a cutaway as well. Everything you love about the W series with the even fuller sound and features that are perfect for you for when you take the stage. So I guess it has a fuller sound. Available cutaway. Corbin's saying he had a signature Martin, but he mainly plays Loudon now. So that's what I'm used to seeing him use, or at least in recent years. The Martin LX1E. Let's check that out. LX1E. A little Martin. It's pretty good. Pretty good price overall. $4.99 for that sucker. Let's go to more details. Sickest wrist top, HPL. So high pressure laminate, which is HPL. So this is a laminate back and sides. The Loudon is all solid wood. There's no laminate anywhere. So that's why you have that drop in price, because you don't have a solid wood body. Yeah, it's a solid top, but just a laminate body. Every time I see Chris Martin, I think of Coldplay, but it's the guy from Martin. Martin himself, or at least a descendant of the original Martin. Yeah. This has Fishman electronics instead of LR bags. This one, the Eastman has. This one has a Fishman pickup system, and it sounds pretty good. I wouldn't mind trying the LR bags though. Yeah. So these things are cool. Let's click on this last one. So if you want to spend some big bucks, you get the SO4 for $1,035. And that gets you the walnut back and sides, solid thickest spruce top. It's got the beveled edge. Obviously it has a cutaway and a slightly bigger body, maybe. I mean, only the top of the range will do. Fans of figure walnut and thickest spruce bell-like top, in and roll and round loads will love the S4. New feature is left out. No feature has been left out, with a comfortable sound bevel, convenient cutaway, and other bags. EAS VTC electronics, a delicate tonal recipe or output with a beautifully configured walnut body and a powerful clear sounding spruce top, is responsive to a variety of playing styles. Yeah, I would love to go to a store that has all these in stock and just play on all of them to see which one I would like the best. They do have a 30-day return policy. So if you ordered one of these, you can return it if you didn't like it. But you don't want to be in the habit of buying one, playing it, returning it, buying another one, playing it, return. You know, it's just, you don't want to do that to the company. Just figure out what you want. Hopefully you can find a store that has them all in stock. You can just play all of them. We do have a dealer here in Nashville called Corner Music. They have 3 Sheeran guitars in stock by Loudon, but they don't have this model. They actually have they have a very limited model selection. So that's the way it is, folks. We've been going for about an hour. So feel like I'm out of tune again. Let me tune it. Corbin, what is your favorite Ed Sheeran song? The favorite all time ever. Oh, there's a bug in my room. All right, there you go. I will probably listen to the Reverend or the Ed Sheeran album Subtract the rest of this week. Just keep soaking it up. Then maybe next week I can go more into his other albums. Let me play this one real fast. I love this one.
Came in for the embers, stayed out for the breeze. I need to feel elements to remind me there's beauty when it's bleak. Stuck out long before lights down. Why do I breathe? Oh, I know the more that I love, the less that I feel. The times that I jumped never were real. They say that all scars heal, but I know maybe I won't, but the waves won't break my boat.
Just very simple, elegant melodies. Nothing too crazy. What key was this in?
But the waves won't break my boat. Stones crash on the boardwalk, the wind rushes through the trees. I keep my eyes peeled, the memories always fall short.
Now, something I've noticed with Ed, he'll very often use a capo. So in the key of B, which is where we're at, we can put the capo on the 2nd fret. Sorry, hold on. What do I want to do here? Put the capo on the 4th fret. Right, it's probably not the exact same voicing.
Of what we could have been, left out long before last call. What do I need? Oh, I know the more that I love, the less that I feel. The times that
So he's got a lower voicing, so that kind of lets me know that so it's like we're playing in A, but we got the capo on the 2nd fret, which makes it sound in B. Anyway, looking at one last thing here on my website, I have doctor prescribed backing tracks. So this is me releasing one backing track a week for the full year of 2023. And I just released today a backing track for the first week of May. So stay tuned for another backing track for this week and then the rest of this month, and then June, July, August, and through the rest of the year. So if I go to my product page here and I do this, actually, if you go to buy now, you can put in your contact info and your payments, and you can see that this is only, well, if I actually go to the thing, you can see that this is only $20. So $20 gets you a full year of backing tracks, which is 52 backing tracks, all kinds of different keys, tempos, genres. So whether you are a beginner just playing an acoustic guitar, or maybe you're a seasoned veteran that likes to shred and you want to work on shredding over different chord progressions, then this is a great way to help support the channel and what I do here online, and just helping you learn how to be a more confident musician. So let me go back to my website here and go to view product. And I'm going to click on this. You can hear there's essentially Life Goes On by Ed Sheeran. So I call it the Sheeran Groove in C sharp major. And this is what it is. Hold on, let me do that again. I gotta get the intro. Gotta get the intro here. obviously it's not exactly like his song. It's very similar chords, but I don't do all the little turnarounds and stuff that he does in the song exactly. But it is essentially the same A section and the same little minor B section that he has. So he could put the song is in C sharp. So if you want to put a capo on the first fret and then play like you're in C, you sound like you're in that song. So let me play along again. Just a little strumming here. 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's still a very easy song to learn and play along with. Just slap a capo on the first fret and play like you're in C. And yeah, I think you'll have a lot of fun. So once again, if you want to support the channel, be sure to subscribe down below. I think only 15-20% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you can do that, that'd be great. And go check out the backing tracks course on my website and get a whole year's worth of backing tracks for just $20. And then in 2024, we're going to do it all again. So you're going to pay another $20 if you want to. And I'll have another year's worth of backing tracks. So thanks guys for watching. I am Dr. McFarland. Thanks Corbin for hanging out, and Aaron, and a bunch of other people that watched. Corbin, Aaron, Andrew, and yeah, we had a fun night. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking.